Hi guys, so in this video we are going to learn about string manipulation in Python. So in Python programming in a Cyberlink textbook, this is our chapter 5. So here in this video from this chapter we are going to learn about what is string, what is index value for a string in Python programming, and what are the string operators that are available and how are we going to implement those string operators in that program. So these are the concepts we are going to learn in this video. Let me start this chapter with an example. So this is a automatically generated, a system generated bill. This bill was generated by a software. Now, if you check here, the amount is coming both in numbers and even in words. So converting this numbers into this words is called string manipulation. Usually, basically, string is nothing but set of characters, the text. You remember we learned string variables, okay? Types of variables, we learned string variable and even string data type, whichever character, whichever value which is enclosed within single or double quotation, that is called a string variable or value. That we have learned when we are learning about variables and values in Python. So this conversion is called manipulation, converting the number into text and even to text to number. This is an example in a program of a billing software which automatically converts the numbers, the numeric values entered by the users into words. Okay, here we said at the beginning, we said like string manipulation. String manipulation is nothing but working on your string, the text characters. Working means we can modify, we can delete, we can add, or even we can replace the string elements in a program. Okay, so next we are going to see about defining a string. What does mean by string? A string can be defined as a set of characters used to represent data. That particular character can be a number or an alphabet or even a symbol or even the space which we are leaving between the words. So that is what called character or a string. Set of characters are called string. In Python, string can be enclosed in single quotation and even in double quotation. Strings can be manipulated using operators and string functions. So in this video, we are going to learn about operators, and in the next video, I'll explain about string functions. Next, we are going to see about creating strings. How to create strings in Python. So creating strings in Python is nothing but just assigning a value to a variable. So this we did already. Variable is equal to within single or double quotation. If you enter any value, that string will be assigned to that particular value. That's what we have done here. A is equal to within double quotation. We have given computer science. So this string will be assigned to this particular variable A. So this string may consist of different types of data value. Each data value in the string is called an element of the string. It is identified with the unique index value. Index value are used to identify and to access the elements of the string. In a string, all elements can be different from one another, and that can be elements which are identical. Now, let me explain these 3 points with an example. Let us consider a string hello, Hello. So why I have given this within a grid? I am going to give a number for each and every character for this particular string. That number is called index value. What is the purpose of using this index value? Suppose if I wanted to access the third element of this particular string, I don't need to go and search for it. Suppose if it is a predefined value, the assigned value means I can directly say. In case the string value I'm getting from the user means it is not easy for me to identify a particular element from a string. In that case, index value will be helpful for me. Using the index value, I can access any element over here. Suppose if I wanted to access the second element, always index values will start from 0 and then it will go on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 respectively. So if I want to know about the second element, I have to use 1. Index 0 indicates the first element of a string. Index 1 indicates the second element of the string. Index 2 indicates the third element of the string, and it will go on like that. And one more thing is, each and every element in a string will have its own index value. If you check the string, L is available here for 2 times, but the index values are different. We have not given the same index value for these two same characters. Okay, so 2 L are there, so I can give for L one index value is enough. No, it is not like that. We have to give index value based on the characters, based on the number of characters present in that. Okay, so this is what index value, and this is how we have to assign the index value. Suppose if we have two different words like computer science, how will the index value be calculated? It will start with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and here the space is considered as 8, then 9, 10. So even the space will be considered for index value. Okay, so this is what creating string and indexing the string. Okay, next we are going to see accessing string elements using index value. I said we can access string elements using the index value. Now I'm going to explain how are we going to do that. Each string is stored in a computer memory as a sequence of characters because we have given the index value in a sequence. Each character in the string has an index value which denotes its position within the string. Zero-based indexing is followed here because we are starting the first value with 0. Okay, so if you consider the previous example, h, the index value of h is 0. So that is called zero-based indexing. So index can be used for accessing individual element of the string. Now let me explain this concept with an example. So same string we are taking, and we are getting the same index values. Suppose if I want to access the first one, string str, string of 0, the index value, it will display the first letter h. Okay, so this is how we have to access the elements of a string using the index values, right? Next, we are going to see about string operators. So already we all know what are operators, right? Operators are nothing but the symbols that are used in expressions to perform different operations. Okay, so these operators can be used with different types of values. Different types of values in the case, suppose if we are with integer and float values, we'll use arithmetic operators, and when we are with Boolean values, we'll use logical values, and when we are using string, we are going to use string operators to do string manipulation. Okay, so Python provides various inbuilt functions which can be used for string manipulation. So let me explain all these inbuilt functions which are used for string manipulation. So first we are going to see about string concatenation. The word concatenation is synonym for joining. Concatenation is nothing but joining. Okay, so here concatenation operator is plus. This plus symbol is used to join multiple strings. Let me give an example program for this. So here I just directly gave within single quotation, I gave computer, plus is a concatenation symbol, and science within single quotation. Now we are going to join these two different strings. So if you press enter key, you will be getting this directly. So computer and science, two different strings, and in this way you can add, you can concatenate, you can join n number of strings. Suppose plus, here you can use Python, plus you can add programming, plus language. How much ever you give, that will be added as a single string, and there will be no space here. Okay, it will be converted as a single string. Okay, so this is what called string concatenation. Concatenation is nothing but joining the string. Okay, so next we are going to see about string replication. You all know the meaning of replication, right? Multiplied. Okay, this replication operator is used to repeat a string for a specified number of times. So even the number of times we are going to specify how many times it is going to replicate itself. Okay, now let me give an example for this. Here I have given Christian Photech and then star. So this multiplication symbol is used for replication. For concatenation it was plus, and for replication it is star multiplied, okay, by 4. I've given 4 here, so 4 times I'll be getting the same. I just used a underscore after text, so it is displaying like this. Okay, so this is the use of string replication operator. Next we are going to see about membership operators. So here in membership operators we have two types. One is in, another one is not in. So membership operators are used to check whether a given value exists in the sequence or not. Okay, so not will go for not in, available will come under in. Okay, so first we are going to see about in membership operator. So here is an example. I just gave a variable and I have given like enter subject name. So when we run a program, it will ask me to type enter the subject name. So if I type any subject, if suppose the entered subject is available in the list, it will give me the output as true, else the output will be false. So now I've given like, first I've given like enter subject name. The first time I've given math subject is available here, so it is giving me true. For the next time when I ran this program, I'm giving Tamil over here and there is no in such a subject over here, so it is giving us false. So this is how this program will work. So this is checking in, city in. Okay, so one, if it is available, it will give true. If it is not available, it will give false. Next, we are going to see membership operators not in. So in this case, the same program I'm giving, but I'm changing here the not in. Even the not in operator is used to check whether the given value is exist or not. Okay, but if it finds a specified value, it will give you the false output. Suppose if the value is not available, it will give you the true answer. So that is the difference between in and not in. In, if the value is available, it will give you the output as true. Not available means false. Not in, value is not available means true. Available means false. So that is the difference. And here I'm giving the value which is available in the list and it is giving me the output as false because I just use not in as a membership operator. So this is the difference between in membership operator and not in membership operator. Next we are going to see slice operator. What is meant by slicing? Slicing is used to cut, right? So here slice operator is used to print a particular element of a string. Here if you check this program, I'm just assigning a variable, a value to a variable, string value to a variable, and I'm just giving an I'm just giving a print coding for a of 0. 0 means if you take the index value of this, I should get the output as yes. So let us check the output. Yes, so we have got the first letter of it based on the index value, and this is what we have seen how to access a particular element from a string. Okay, so this is one example, and another example is a of 1. So now we'll be getting the output as t. Okay, so first time we have got s and the second time we have got t, and it will go on like that. Okay, and the slice operator, this will be giving within a square bracket. That is main thing here. Okay, so this is slice operator. Next we are going to see range slice operator. What is meant by range slice operator? Suppose if you need only a particular element, you just use a single index value. Suppose if I wanted to extract a set of characters from a given range, I can use this range slice operator. So suppose if you want to extract a particular word, suppose if you want to extract a second name from a name, or suppose if you want to extract a new word from the given word, So in those cases, we can use this range slice operator. So let me give an example for this here. I am assigning a value, a string to the variable a. Now, new word is a new variable equal to a of 2:6, which means if you take the second index, okay, so this is 0, 1, 2. It is starting from 2 and ending at 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so now if you print new word, we'll be getting the new word as ring. So that is the output. So from this word, we just used the range slice operator. So what we are doing, we are just cutting out a part of a string. That's it. That is what called range slice operator. Okay. So for here, this colon is very, very important as we are giving a range. So if you are expert in Excel, you know what is mean by range. Okay. So this is how the range slice operator is working. Next, we are going to see about string formatting operator. So string formatting operator here for this, we are going to use a percentage symbol. That is what string formatting operator. It is used to create and format the strings. So this operator is used to create a string with different types of values embedded in it. The value can be anything. Suppose if you want to access it, we can use. So here we are not going to use only the string value. We can use any type of data. Okay. So let us take an example. Here I'm just having two variables, name and age. For name, I'm assigning a string. For age, I'm assigning a number. Now in print, what I'm doing, percentage is a string formatting operator. S is for string. Is again percentage formatting operator. Here D I'm using for this integer. So for string it is S. For integer it is D. Okay. So what I'm doing, I'm just incorporating this string over here and the integer over here. Okay. So here I'm just giving what the percentage should do. It has to add the name and age. I'm just giving it in the same order. First, the name should be printed, and in the next percentage part, age should be printed. Okay. So let us see how it is going to display it. The output will be like Krish is printed first because here we have given percentage is, percentage string is Krish, which is the name. It will see this percentage directly. It will come here. It will see this percentage again. It will come over here. Name we have given. So it will go to name and it will check the value. It is Krish. It will come and print. Now it will come here. It will print that is here. Next it will come here. Percentage. Then again it will go to the percentage. It will check the next variable because the first variable has already been taken. So now it will check the next variable. It is age. It will go here. Variable is assigned with the value as 4. Now the interpreter will take this 4 and it will come and print here on the screen. Next it will come back here years old. So now the text is completed. Now the statement is completed as Krish is 4 years old. Okay, but here we didn't give any values directly in the print statement. Okay, so this is the use of string formatting operator. Okay, as I said, S for this percentage, S is for string and percentage D is for integer. What it is and how can we identify? We have some separate set of format for this formatting operator. So let me explain all these things. So percentage C for character, percentage S for string, percentage I for signed decimal number, D for single decimal number which is integer. Okay, and then U is for unsigned decimal integer. What is this signed decimal integer and unsigned decimal integer? It is for plus and minus signs. Okay, negative and positive symbols. Next, percentage O is for octal integer. Percentage small x is for hexadecimal lowercase. Capital X is for hexadecimal uppercase. Then percentage E exponential notation. Then percentage F floating point real numbers. So these are all the formatting operators and these are all the purpose which we have to use it in our programming. Okay, and the final operator is escape sequence. So escape sequence is a set of characters that has a special meaning to the Python interpreter, just like our keyword. Suppose if you take keyword, it has special meaning only to the interpreter. In the same way, even escape sequences are a set of characters which has special meanings. Okay, so escape sequences causes the character following it to escape normal interpretation. So the character which are present in this escape sequence will not work normally. It will do some other work which is not being done. So that is what the special meaning. Okay. So here for this escape sequence, we are going to use backslash symbol to convert a normal character into escape sequence. So let me show some escape sequences and its description. So here /n, which will give a new line. /t will use a horizontal tab. /b is for backspace. /r for carriage written. /a audible bell. /hyphen printing single quotation. /double quotation is printing double quotation. /question mark is to print question mark in the output. Double slash, it will give only one backslash. /f form feed. /v vertical tab. /0 null value. /n or O for print octal values, and /xhh, that is to print hexadecimal value HH. Okay, so these are the escape sequences which will be used in a print statement within double quotation. Within double quotation, whichever you print, that will be printed as it is. Suppose if you want to change that sequence, that is called escape sequence. Suppose if I give this \n within double quotation, it will leave a line. It will not print this as it is. Okay, so this example for these we'll be seeing in all our upcoming programs. So I didn't give any programs here. So in your previous example program, you just use /n and see what is happening, /t and see what is happening. Okay, just try all these and leave your comments in the comment box about this. Thank you. Happy learning.